I never believed in magic or dark forces until I met Arjun, a man from a remote village in India whose eyes held secrets I couldn't understand. He spoke little, but when he did, his words felt heavy, like they carried centuries of forgotten knowledge. And despite every warning that echoed in the back of my mind, I was drawn to him like a moth to a flame. He told me about ancient practices, ways to bend reality to your will. And although my heart hesitated, my curiosity was stronger. I begged him to teach me. I thought it would be harmless, maybe even exciting, just another adventure to chase away the emptiness that was quietly swallowing my life. At first, it was simple, harmless tricks that made people smile or wonder, a flower blooming out of season, a candle flickering without wind, a whisper carrying across a crowded room. I felt powerful, alive for the first time in years, and the loneliness that used to sit heavy on my chest started to lift. But power is a greedy thing. It never stays small and innocent for long. I didn't listen. Of course, I thought I could handle it. I thought I was smarter, stronger, different from all the fools in the stories who lost themselves to the darkness. Arjun gave me the final ritual, a secret that had been passed down through blood and sacrifice, a way to truly command the unseen forces around us. And when I performed it under a new moon in the quiet stillness of my room, I felt something inside me break and then swell with a rush of power so intoxicating that I forgot every fear, every doubt, every piece of myself that used to hesitate. For a while, I was unstoppable. Doors opened before me. Obstacles melted away, and people who once ignored me suddenly treated me with awe and fear. And it felt good. So good that I didn't notice the small things. At first, the way my reflection sometimes lagged behind my movements, the strange bruises that appeared on my skin overnight, the dreams filled with whispering voices calling me deeper and deeper into something I couldn't name. It wasn't until the first real accident that I realized what I had done the first time someone close to me got hurt, in a way that couldn't be explained or undone. I tried to stop. I tried to undo the rituals to cleanse myself of whatever I had invited into my life. But the more I struggled, the tighter its grip became. And I saw Arjun again one last time in a dream. Or maybe it was something more. He looked at me with such sorrow and whispered that once you open a door, some things will never leave. And now I live with it every day, trying to do good, trying to drown the darkness with acts of kindness, hoping that maybe someday I can tip the scales back to balance. But knowing deep down that some sins stain too deep to ever be washed clean, I thought maybe if I returned to the place where it all began, I could find a way to reverse it. So I packed a small bag with almost nothing inside except a few old photographs, a tattered journal where I had written down every word Arjun had ever told me, and a single candle that he once gave me, saying it would protect me if ever I found myself lost between worlds. I traveled back to India, back to that forgotten village. But when I arrived, the place was nothing like I remembered. The streets were abandoned, the houses crumbling, the air heavy with the smell of dust and sorrow. And when I asked about Arjun, the few faces that peered at me from behind cracked doors only shook their heads and muttered prayers under their breath, as if even speaking his name might bring down some unseen curse. I wandered through the village for days, searching for a sign, a clue, anything that could help me undo what I had unleashed. But the more I searched, the more I realized that some paths once taken cannot be walked back. One night, when the moon hung low and sickly in the sky, I sat by the river that once ran clear, but was now dark and sluggish, and I lit the old candle, its weak flame flickering in the damp air, and I spoke into the night. Not a spell, not a command, just a simple, desperate plea for forgiveness, for freedom, for some kind of peace. The river seemed to listen, or maybe the thing inside me did, because suddenly I felt a presence settle over me like a cold, wet shroud. And in that moment I understood that I could not erase what I had done, but maybe I could offer something in return, a part of myself, a piece of the very soul I had stained with my arrogance and greed. So I whispered my own name into the dark water, offering it up like a confession, and as the candle guttered and died, I felt something tear inside me, something deep and essential. But it was not pain, it was release. In the days that followed, the heavy darkness that had wrapped itself around my life seemed to loosen its hold. Small blessings began to appear. A stranger's unexpected kindness, a dreamless sleep after months of torment, a sudden laugh that bubbled up from my chest without warning or reason. But I knew better than to believe I was free. The mark was still there, invisible, but permanent like a scar on the soul. And I carry it with me, still hidden beneath smiles and small acts of goodness. A quiet reminder that power, no matter how sweet its promise, always demands more than you are willing to give. But maybe that day will never come. Maybe the small light I fight to keep alive inside me will always be enough. Maybe every kind word, every honest smile, every moment where I choose compassion over anger builds a wall strong enough to keep the darkness at bay. And maybe redemption is not about erasing the past, but about choosing every single day to be better than the person I was yesterday. So I keep walking forward step by step, carrying my mistakes like old scars, not with shame, but with the quiet understanding that even broken things can still find their way back into the light.